We bet that if we showed you an infinite number of wireless headphones, you'd recognize at least a couple. But here's the twist. What if we told you that the most iconic headphones of our time, Apple's AirPods, aren't really about sound quality? In fact, Apple has never even marketed them that way. So why are they the best-selling headphones in the world? And most importantly, what does this tell us about the future of technology? Buckle up, because this story may change the way you think about your headphones forever. The year is 2016. Apple has just announced the iPhone 7. But something is missing. Apple called it courage. The internet called it something else. But Apple wasn't just removing a port. It was forcing a new way of thinking. And the answer to that? AirPods. 24 hours of battery life, seamless Bluetooth pairing, and a completely new vision for personal audio. But were people convinced? At first, AirPods were a joke. They looked ridiculous, cost $159, and people were convinced they'd fall out of your ears within seconds. Critics hated the one-size-fits-all design. Athletes said they'd never stay in during workouts. And tech enthusiasts questioned whether Apple was just selling overpriced wireless earpods. And yet, despite all the criticism, Apple had a secret weapon. Apple didn't just make wireless earbuds, they engineered a new standard for wireless connectivity. The real innovation behind AirPods isn't about sound quality, it's about seamless integration and software excellence. At first glance, AirPods may look like just another pair of wireless earbuds, but underneath that minimalist design is a level of engineering that sets them miles ahead of the competition. The first-gen AirPods, launched in 2016, introduced Apple's W1 chip, and that was the real game changer. Before the W1, Bluetooth headphones were a nightmare because pairing was slow, unstable, and often required digging through confusing menus. Apple's W1 chip changed the rules. Instead of going through a messy pairing process, users could simply open the AirPods case near an iPhone, tap connect, and boom, it's connected. This wasn't just a minor convenience, it was a revolutionary shift in how people interacted with wireless technology. Then came the H1 chip with AirPods 2 in 2019. Apple promised that connection speed will be increased twice with lower latency and better battery efficiency. What did this mean in real life? This means that there will be no more lag when watching videos. Switching between devices became instant, and Siri started to work at 50% faster speed. Most people don't realize it, but this level of connectivity was unheard of at the time. But here's the bigger picture. AirPods weren't just wireless earbuds, they were an extension of Apple's ecosystem. Once you paired AirPods with one Apple device, they were automatically available across all your Apple devices, without needing to pair again. This wasn't just convenient, it was Apple's master plan. Because once you experience this seamless integration, switching to another brand feels inconvenient. And that's how Apple locks you in. Apple didn't stop at connectivity, they made AirPods smart. Inside every AirPod you'll find an accelerometer that detects motion and taps for controls, optical sensors that know when AirPods are in your ears, and microphones for voice calls and Siri commands. No buttons, no menus, just natural interaction. This wasn't just about technology, it was about making AirPods feel effortless. But let's talk about design, because Apple made a choice that would make AirPods instantly recognizable, which is its color, white. Back in the 2000s, Apple turned white earbuds into a cultural icon. Unlike the black or neutral colored headphones that flooded the market, Apple's white earpods became a symbol of status. Fast forward to 2016 and they did it again with AirPods. The white stems weren't just functional, they were a flex. Apple didn't even need a logo on them. The design itself became a branding. You see white stems, you know it's AirPods. So why did AirPods dominate the world? It wasn't because of the best sound quality, it was because Apple created the perfect storm of innovation. First of all, let's talk about its engineering mastery, because of which the W1 and H1 chips made connectivity flawless. Then comes the ecosystem lock-in, seamless integration that kept users in Apple's world. Last but not least, iconic branding is responsible for the white design that made AirPods a status symbol. Other companies have made better sounding wireless earbuds, but no one has made better connected ones, and that's why Apple won. Because at the end of the day, convenience and quality always wins. And that is the real genius of AirPods. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Are AirPods actually good headphones? Well, kind of. They're decent, but they're nowhere near the best sounding headphones out there. Brands like Sony and Bose have better noise cancellation, richer bass, and more refined audio quality. But guess what? They're not winning the market. So what happened? Did we stop caring about sound quality? Or did Apple redefine what we value in headphones? Here's where things get interesting. Apple isn't just selling you headphones, they're selling a lifestyle, and that comes with a cost. Think about it. Your AirPods track your location through Find My. They sync across all your Apple devices, and Apple knows exactly how you use them. So, is this just about making things easier? Or are we slowly giving up control for convenience? Because make no mistake, AirPods are just one more link in Apple's growing data chain. Here's where things get really interesting. AirPods are no longer just about music. Apple is turning them into health and wellness devices. Did you know that your AirPods can conduct hearing tests? Apple's latest updates allows AirPods Pro to assess your hearing ability and adjust sound frequencies in real time. This feature builds a personalized hearing profile, adjusting how your AirPods play music, voices, and environmental sounds to best suit your ears. Think of it like an AI-driven equalizer, but designed for your unique hearing needs. And it doesn't stop there. With the Noise app on the Apple Watch, you can monitor ambient sound levels and get notifications if your environment is too loud. Apple is positioning itself as a leader in digital health, and AirPods are becoming a crucial tool in that mission. Of course, one of the biggest revolutions Apple introduced with AirPods Pro was active noise cancellation and transparency mode, but this technology has come a long way. AirPods Pro and AirPods Max don't just block noise, they counter it. A set of microphones detects external sounds, and then your AirPods generate anti-noise signals to cancel them out before you even hear them. But that's only half the story. What if you don't want to completely block out the world? That's where transparency mode comes in. Unlike other noise-canceling headphones, AirPods don't just turn off ANC. Instead, transparency mode lets outside noise in, amplifying voices and ambient noise so you can stay aware of your surroundings while still listening to music. And now, with the latest AirPods 4 and AirPods Pro 2, Apple has introduced adaptive audio, a feature that dynamically adjusts noise cancellation based on your surroundings. If you're in a loud environment, noise cancellation kicks in. If someone starts talking to you, your AirPods recognize this and lower the volume, letting you hear the conversation without removing your earbuds. With adaptive audio, Apple is making noise cancellation smarter, reducing your exposure to loud sounds when necessary, while still keeping you engaged with your environment. Switching between these modes is incredibly easy. If you're using AirPods Pro or AirPods Max, you can switch between active noise cancellation and transparency mode with just a press of the noise control button on the AirPods Max or by long pressing the stem on AirPods Pro. And of course, you can also customize these settings on your iPhone, iPad, Mac, or Apple Watch for even more control. But Apple's ambitions don't stop at convenience. They're aiming to revolutionize assistive hearing technology. For users with mild to moderate hearing loss, AirPods Pro now offer a clinically validated hearing aid feature. Using the personalized hearing profile created from the hearing test, AirPods Pro can boost specific frequencies, enhance speech clarity, and reduce background noise, all in real time. With this update, AirPods Pro aren't just luxury accessories, they're potentially life-changing tools for people who need hearing assistance. But Apple doesn't just stop at AirPods. Their broader health ecosystem also plays a role in hearing protection. For example, noise exposure alerts. If you're in a loud environment for too long, your iPhone or Apple Watch will warn you about potential hearing damage. You can also set a volume limit in iOS, ensuring that your music never gets dangerously loud. So why is Apple investing so much in health-focused audio technology? Because they're not just selling products, they're selling a lifestyle. Apple is shifting from being a tech company to being a digital health leader. And AirPods are a key part of that strategy. They've already transformed from simple earbuds into smart hearing assistants, and this is likely just the beginning. What happens next? Will AirPods track your heart rate? monitor your stress levels, maybe even warn you about early signs of hearing loss before a doctor does? One thing is certain, AirPods aren't just about music anymore. They're about you, your health, your safety, and your connection to the world. So what do AirPods really represent? Are they a breakthrough in technology, or just another way to keep us locked into Apple's world? Are we willing to trade privacy for convenience? Are AirPods the future, or just another step towards a world where we no longer own our own technology? It owns us. Now we want to hear from you. Are AirPods worth it? Do you think Apple is building the future, or is Apple just locking us deeper into its ecosystem? Drop a comment below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like and subscribe for more thought-provoking tech breakdowns. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.